Have you ever noticed how some women seem to carry a quiet power that fills the room without raising their voice? It is not about showing off or demanding attention. It is about knowing their worth, feeling it in every step they take, in every word they speak, and in every pause they allow. A high-value woman does not speak just to fill the silence. She speaks to leave an impression, to plant a seed, to reveal a depth that cannot be measured by surface-level attention. When a high-value woman speaks to a man, she does not beg for respect. She does not plead for validation. She speaks with clarity, with calm confidence, and with a presence that demands honesty. Her words are simple but sharp, gentle but unshakable. She does not allow confusion to linger. She does not apologize for her standards. And she does not waste her energy trying to fix what is not meant for her. She communicates in a way that shows she sees reality clearly and accepts it fully. A high-value woman knows the difference between attention and respect. She knows that anyone who truly values her will rise to meet her energy. She does not need to chase or manipulate. She simply allows her truth to be heard, and those who are aligned will respond. Her conversations are full of intention. She does not over-explain. She does not dilute her presence to make others comfortable. She speaks like she owns her life because she does. Every word carries weight because it comes from a woman who honors herself above the fleeting opinions of others. She does not fear silence because silence is her ally. Silence allows her to observe, to reflect, and to measure the energy in the room. And when she speaks again, it is with purpose. She sets boundaries without aggression and communicates her desires without compromise. She does not fall into games or illusions. Her words are a mirror of her inner strength. She chooses not to tolerate anything less than genuine respect, and in doing so, she teaches others how to treat her. A high-value woman also speaks with warmth, but not weakness. Her compassion is real, but it does not blind her to reality. She can listen, she can guide, she can inspire, but she never loses herself in trying to change someone else. She speaks as one who has mastered herself, and from that mastery, her words carry a magnetic authority. They are soft but firm, humble but commanding, open but unwavering. A high-value woman speaks with clarity because she knows that words are more than sounds. They are reflections of her energy, her self-respect, and her inner truth. She does not speak to fill a void or to make others comfortable. She does not speak out of fear, insecurity, or the need to be liked. Every word she utters carries intention because she understands the power of language and the influence it has on perception. She communicates not to impress, not to beg for attention, and certainly not to seek validation from someone else. The moment a woman begins to rely on others for the confirmation of her worth, she loses the very essence of her high-value energy. True clarity comes from knowing oneself deeply and expressing that knowing in a way that cannot be mistaken, ignored, or diluted. When she speaks to a man, her clarity is immediately felt. There is no hidden agenda, no manipulation, no subtle games. Her words are straightforward, but graceful, firm, but not harsh. She communicates expectations without arrogance and boundaries without hostility. She does not waste time over-explaining or justifying her existence. She understands that anyone who cannot meet her on the level of respect and authenticity does not deserve to be part of her life. In her conversations, there is no room for ambiguity or false hope. She creates a space where honesty thrives and illusions fade. She recognizes that clarity is not about dominance, it is about self-possession. It is about demonstrating that her energy, her time, and her attention are not cheap commodities to be won over with empty words or shallow gestures. The beauty of speaking with clarity lies in its simplicity. She does not complicate her communication to sound profound or intelligent. She does not dilute her voice to accommodate insecurities or fears. Each sentence is purposeful, each pause intentional. She knows when to speak and when silence will communicate more than words ever could. Silence is her ally, a tool she wields with precision. It allows her to observe, to measure energy, and to ensure that her words will land exactly where they need to. A high-value woman understands that clarity is not just about what is said, it is about the energy she radiates while speaking. Her confidence and self-awareness make it almost impossible for her message to be misunderstood. Speaking with clarity also means she does not apologize for her standards or her desires. She articulates what she expects, what she will accept, and what she will never tolerate. She does so without bitterness or fear, but with a quiet power that commands attention. She does not speak from anger or defensiveness. She speaks from a place of truth and integrity. Her words reflect a life lived with intention and a mind trained to recognize authenticity. In this way, she sets the tone for any interaction. A man who hears her knows immediately where he stands, and he must either rise to her level of respect or step aside. She does not debate her value, because her actions and words already prove it. Another element of her clarity is her ability to remain composed even in emotionally charged situations. She does not allow frustration or disappointment to cloud her voice. Instead, she communicates with a calm strength that is both disarming and magnetic. Her words are measured, not reactive. This composure reflects a deep understanding of herself and a refusal to let external chaos dictate her inner state. By speaking in this manner, she models emotional intelligence and maturity, setting a standard for how others should engage with her. The clarity of her speech becomes a mirror that reflects the honesty and integrity she demands from those around her. A high-value woman also recognizes that clarity requires self-reflection. She knows her values, her boundaries, and her intentions. She understands that speaking without clarity is often a reflection of inner confusion or unresolved self-doubt. Therefore, she invests time in knowing herself, in meditating on her purpose, and in understanding what she truly wants from life and relationships. Her clarity is the result of internal work, of daily practice in observing herself and refining her thoughts. She speaks not to manipulate or charm, but to convey truth, to communicate reality, and to maintain the harmony between her inner world and her outer expression. Ultimately, a high-value woman's clarity in communication is a testament to her independence and self-respect. It is a declaration that she will not settle for less than what she deserves, and that she does not need anyone else's approval to define her worth. Her words carry weight because they come from a woman who knows herself completely and refuses to compromise her essence. Speaking with clarity is not merely a skill, it is a reflection of her entire being, a visible sign of the strength, dignity, and authenticity she embodies. When she speaks, she is heard not because she shouts or demands attention, but because she has mastered the art of expressing truth with unwavering confidence. Her clarity is her power, and it always leads to alignment with those who are worthy, and the natural separation from those who are not. A high-value woman's words always reflect self-respect and unwavering boundaries, because she knows that how she communicates is a mirror of her inner state. She does not speak in a way that compromises her dignity or bends to the expectations of others. Every interaction is an opportunity to demonstrate that she honors herself first, that she understands her worth, and that she refuses to accept treatment that falls short of respect. She recognizes that boundaries are not punishments or walls meant to isolate, but shields that protect her energy, her time, and her peace. They are the invisible lines that tell the world who she is and who she will not tolerate being around, and she communicates them with calm authority rather than aggression. When she speaks to a man, there is an unmistakable sense that her standards are non-negotiable. She does not shy away from expressing what she will accept and what she will not. She communicates her expectations clearly and directly, and she does so without arrogance, guilt, or apology. She understands that some people may test her, some may resist, and some may challenge her boundaries, but she remains steady. Her self-respect is not contingent on anyone else's behavior. She knows that bending to someone else's demands or compromising her principles to gain approval only diminishes her energy and invites confusion. By maintaining unwavering boundaries, she creates a space in which only honesty, integrity, and respect can exist. Her self-respect is reflected not just in what she says, but in how she carries herself. The confidence with which she communicates demonstrates that she values her own opinion above the fleeting judgments of others. She does not over-explain her decisions or justify her worth. Her calm and measured voice conveys a sense of authority because she speaks from a foundation of self-awareness. Those who listen feel the weight of her conviction, the clarity of her mind, and the unshakable nature of her character. She does not need to force respect. It is naturally demanded because she embodies it fully. A high-value woman also understands that self-respect and boundaries are intertwined. When she sets a boundary, she does so with intention and clarity. She does not leave room for manipulation or negotiation that compromises her values. Her boundaries are not reactive, they are proactive. They are a declaration of the life she chooses to live and the relationships she chooses to nurture. She knows that weak or unclear boundaries lead to confusion, frustration, and disconnection. By being firm yet graceful, she teaches others how to engage with her in a way that aligns with her standards. She communicates in a manner that encourages respect rather than fear, creating relationships that are mutually empowering rather than draining. Another aspect of her self-respect is her ability to walk away when her boundaries are crossed. She understands that her value is not defined by attachment or approval. If someone refuses to honor her standards, she does not waste her time arguing or pleading. She calmly disengages and redirects her energy toward those who genuinely align with her principles. This level of self-respect communicates more powerfully than any argument ever could. It demonstrates that she values herself above the comfort or validation of others, and that she will not compromise her integrity for the sake of temporary acceptance. Her words carry weight because they are grounded in authenticity. She speaks from a place of truth and does not cloak her intentions in manipulation, subtlety, or games. She understands that clarity, self-respect, and boundaries are inseparable. By embodying them fully, she ensures that her interactions are honest, meaningful, and purposeful. She does not tolerate disrespect in any form, whether it is subtle or overt, and she communicates this naturally through the firmness and calmness in her speech. Her energy leaves no room for misunderstanding, and those who listen immediately recognize the standard she upholds. Ultimately, the combination of self-respect and unwavering boundaries defines the high-value woman's interactions. She does not compromise her dignity to please others. She does not lower her standards to gain affection or attention. She knows that true respect is earned through authenticity and that any relationship worth keeping will honor her as she honors herself. Her words, her actions, and her energy are all aligned with this principle. By speaking with self-respect and holding clear boundaries, she protects her essence and communicates her value without question. Her strength lies in the quiet power of her presence, the clarity of her intentions, and the consistency of her boundaries, and through these, she teaches others how to treat her. A high-value woman communicates with purpose, because she understands that words are not just sounds. They are instruments of energy that shape reality. She does not speak merely to fill silence or to appear agreeable. She does not use her voice to appease others, to entertain, or to seek approval. Every sentence, every phrase, every pause is intentional. When she speaks to leave an impression, to clarify truth, and to create alignment with those who are worthy of her time and attention. Her words are measured, precise, and deliberate because she knows that careless speech can diminish her energy, dilute her presence, and invite misunderstanding. She has learned that speaking without purpose is a luxury she cannot afford, and she refuses to waste her voice on trivialities or distractions. When she engages with a man, the clarity and intentionality in her communication become immediately apparent. She does not explain or justify her actions and choices. She does not overcompensate to make him feel comfortable or to manipulate perception. Her words are rooted in authenticity, in the understanding that anyone who genuinely values her will rise to meet the energy she offers. She communicates her desires, expectations, and boundaries without fear, without defensiveness, and without the need for validation. Her purpose is not to control, but to convey truth, to express herself fully, and to ensure that those around her understand her standards. A high-value woman knows that purpose-driven communication attracts alignment and naturally repels confusion and dishonesty. Purposeful speech also means she listens as much as she speaks. She understands that true communication is a two-way street. She listens with intention, absorbing not just words but energy, tone, and intention behind what is being said. By doing this, she responds rather than reacts, chooses clarity over impulse, and maintains the integrity of her own energy. She does not feel compelled to fill every silence with chatter. Instead, she lets the moment breathe, allowing her words to carry weight and resonance. Her ability to speak with purpose comes from a deep awareness of self and a commitment to live in alignment with her values. And this awareness is felt by everyone who encounters her. A high-value woman also communicates purposefully because she understands the importance of timing. She knows that when words are spoken without consideration for context or timing, their impact diminishes. She chooses her moments with discernment, ensuring that her communication lands when it will be most effective, most understood, and most respected. Her pauses are not empty. They are strategic, allowing reflection, processing, and clarity to take place. In doing so, she demonstrates a mastery of both her energy and the energy of those around her. Her purposeful approach to speech commands attention naturally, without force or drama. Her purposefulness extends to every form of expression. She understands that tone, body language, and energy are as critical as the words themselves. A high-value woman speaks not only with her mouth but with her presence. Her energy amplifies her words and makes them unforgettable. There is no pretense, no overcompensation, no attempt to manipulate perception. Every word is aligned with her reality, and that alignment communicates herself, respect, and strength more powerfully than any eloquence or charm ever could. When she speaks, she leaves no room for doubt about who she is, what she values, and what she expects. Another vital aspect of purposeful communication is that she does not allow emotion to override intention. She does not react impulsively in anger, frustration, or fear. Her speech is never about venting, manipulating, or proving a point to assert dominance. She speaks from a place of calm strength and clarity, allowing her intentions to guide her voice rather than her fluctuating emotions. This consistency makes her presence magnetic and her communication impactful. People feel the difference between someone who speaks carelessly and someone whose words are infused with purpose. Ultimately, her purpose-driven communication is a reflection of her self-mastery. She understands that her words are a reflection of her inner world, and she cultivates that inner world with care, attention, and intention. Speaking with purpose ensures that every interaction serves a higher standard: alignment, respect, and authenticity. It is not about controlling others. It is about demonstrating self-respect and clarity in every interaction. She teaches through her speech, inspires through her energy, and communicates her value without compromise. Her purpose in speaking transforms ordinary conversations into expressions of her strength, clarity, and inner power, and through this, she naturally draws those who are worthy of her presence. A high-value woman values herself above fleeting opinions and shallow games, because she understands that her worth is inherent, not something to be negotiated or proven to anyone. She has realized that true confidence does not depend on external approval or validation. She does not measure her value by the attention she receives or the affection she is offered. Instead, she recognizes that self-worth comes from within, from the quiet certainty of knowing who she is and what she stands for. She does not allow the temporary whims or judgments of others to sway her perception of herself. When a woman embraces this truth, she becomes untouchable in the best sense, grounded in a sense of self that no manipulation, criticism, or fleeting praise can destabilize. When she interacts with a man, this understanding becomes evident in the way she carries herself and speaks. She does not engage in games designed to gain attention, test loyalty, or provoke reactions. She does not feel the need to compete, to impress, or to prove herself. She communicates honestly, directly, and with integrity, because she is not dependent on others to define her. She does not allow insecurity or fear of rejection to dictate her actions. She knows that anyone who cannot accept her as she is does not deserve her energy, and she has no interest in bending or compromising to accommodate those who fail to respect her value. In this way, she maintains her dignity and teaches others how to engage with her respectfully. A high-value woman also understands the subtle ways in which shallow games and manipulative behavior can appear. She is not naive, nor is she reactive. She can identify insincerity, dishonesty, or attempts to undermine her without anger or drama. Instead, she responds with calm discernment, maintaining her composure and choosing whether to engage or step back. She does not waste time entertaining tactics that compromise her peace or self-respect. Her energy is reserved for genuine interactions, for those who match her level of authenticity and integrity. In this, she demonstrates a rare combination of wisdom, self-awareness, and strength that makes her both magnetic and untouchable to superficial distractions. Valuing herself above external validation also means she does not accept mistreatment, disrespect, or disregard in any form. She communicates her standards clearly, ensuring that anyone who wishes to be part of her life understands what is acceptable and what is not. Her words are firm but graceful, conveying her expectations without bitterness or fear. She does not over-explain or apologize for holding herself in high regard. Her self-respect is non-negotiable, and it informs every interaction she has. She is not manipulative, she is not controlling. She simply knows her worth and communicates it in ways that cannot be misinterpreted. Another key aspect of valuing herself above fleeting opinions is her ability to detach from external judgment. She does not allow praise to inflate her ego or criticism to diminish her spirit. She sees both as temporary and external, incapable of altering the truth of who she is. Her confidence is rooted in a deep understanding of her own abilities, her character, and her purpose. By cultivating this inner certainty, she creates a life and relationships that are aligned with authenticity rather than superficiality. Those around her quickly recognize this distinction, sensing her strength, clarity, and independence. A high-value woman also recognizes the importance of consistency in self-value. She does not fluctuate based on mood, circumstance, or the behavior of others. She remains steady, unwavering, and grounded, demonstrating that her sense of worth is internal and permanent. She does not chase attention or validation, nor does she fear its absence. This consistency is magnetic. People are naturally drawn to her because they sense that her energy is unshakable, her boundaries clear, and her intentions honest. She becomes a standard against which others measure themselves, not as a tool of intimidation, but as a reflection of integrity and self-respect. Ultimately, valuing herself above fleeting opinions and shallow games allows a high-value woman to live freely and fully. She is not trapped in the pursuit of approval, nor is she enslaved to manipulation or superficial attention. She communicates clearly, stands firmly in her truth, and engages only with those who honor her presence and energy. Her life is a reflection of her values, and her interactions are guided by authenticity rather than neediness or insecurity. In this way, she teaches through her example that self-worth is not granted by others, but claimed and embodied fully. And when she embodies this truth, everything and everyone in her life naturally aligns with it. A high-value woman embraces silence as power and speaks only when necessary because she understands that her presence and energy carry far more weight than endless words. She does not feel the need to fill every moment with chatter, to explain herself excessively, or to entertain superficial conversations. She has learned that true strength lies in restraint, in the ability to observe, to reflect, and to measure the energy around her before she chooses to respond. Silence is not emptiness for her. It is a tool, a statement, and a shield. It allows her to conserve her energy, to maintain her focus, and to communicate with depth and impact when the moment calls for it. Every word she speaks is intentional, carefully measured, and infused with meaning because she understands that her voice is precious. When a high-value woman speaks to a man, her silence makes her words resonate more deeply. She does not rush to fill voids or respond impulsively. Instead, she listens, absorbs, and evaluates the intentions, energy, and truth in the conversation. Her pauses are deliberate, allowing both herself and the other person to reflect. Through this, she demonstrates emotional intelligence, patience, and discernment. She does not speak to please, to manipulate, or to control. She speaks from authenticity and truth, choosing words that carry clarity, purpose, and respect. Those who engage with her feel the weight of her presence even before she utters a single word. And when she does speak, her communication leaves a lasting impression. Silence also gives her the ability to observe without judgment and to understand without interference. She notices the subtle cues, the inconsistencies, and the intentions of others because she is not consumed by the need to dominate the conversation. By observing quietly, she gains insight into the character and intentions of those around her. This discernment is one of her greatest strengths because it allows her to respond appropriately rather than react emotionally. She does not waste time or energy on people or situations that are misaligned with her values. Instead, she chooses to engage selectively, conserving her presence for interactions that are meaningful, authentic, and mutually respectful. A high-value woman also understands that speaking too much can dilute her energy and diminish her influence. Words are powerful, but their impact is multiplied when paired with timing, clarity, and intent. By embracing silence, she allows her thoughts to mature, her ideas to crystallize, and her emotions to settle. When she finally speaks, her communication is precise, impactful, and impossible to ignore. Silence gives her the power to command attention, to create intrigue, and to ensure that her voice is heard in its full authority. It is not a strategy to confuse or manipulate. It is a reflection of self-control, wisdom, and confidence. Her selective communication also teaches others the value of respect. People quickly learn that she does not tolerate unnecessary drama, gossip, or triviality. She does not chase validation, nor does she compete for attention. Her silence communicates as much as her words, signaling that her energy is not to be taken lightly and that her presence is sacred. This clarity of energy attracts those who are authentic and aligned while naturally repelling those who are superficial or manipulative. In this way, she maintains her dignity, her peace, and her self-respect, all without needing to force recognition or control. Embracing silence also allows her to cultivate inner strength. She does not rely on others to fill her sense of worth or to validate her existence. By mastering the ability to be comfortable in silence, she deepens her connection with herself, gains clarity on her values, and reinforces her emotional independence. She does not fear quiet moments because she understands that these moments provide space for reflection, growth, and alignment with her true self. Silence is her ally, helping her navigate life with intention rather than reaction, with discernment rather than impulse, and with wisdom rather than frustration. Ultimately, a high-value woman speaks only when it serves a purpose because she values her energy, her presence, and her truth. Her silence is not emptiness. It is power, authority, and clarity. It allows her words to resonate, her standards to be recognized, and her authenticity to shine. She communicates not for the sake of being heard, but to ensure that when she speaks, her words leave impact, command respect, and reflect the depth of her self-mastery. Through silence, she demonstrates the quiet strength of a woman who knows her worth and the power of her presence, and in doing so, she naturally attracts respect, alignment, and authenticity into her life. A high-value woman's presence commands respect even before a word is spoken, because she understands that energy communicates louder than language. She does not need to assert herself aggressively or demand attention to be recognized. The way she carries herself, the way she moves, the calm confidence she radiates. These are the signals that reveal her worth and set the standard for how others should engage with her. She knows that people respond to energy first and words second, and she cultivates an inner strength and poise that naturally draws respect. A high-value woman invests in herself not for the sake of impressing anyone, but because she honors the life she lives and the energy she embodies. When she interacts with a man, her presence alone communicates boundaries, clarity, and integrity. She does not need to announce her standards or explain her worth because her energy expresses it fully. The way she holds herself, the way she maintains eye contact, the way she speaks without hesitation or doubt. These all communicate her self-respect and independence. She does not rely on manipulation, charm, or superficial gestures to be noticed. Her quiet authority makes it clear that she is not easily influenced or swayed. Those who encounter her feel the weight of her presence, and they instinctively understand that engaging with her requires honesty, authenticity, and alignment. Her commanding presence comes from a deep understanding of herself. She has invested time in reflection, self-awareness, and personal growth. She knows her values, her goals, and her standards, and she lives in alignment with them consistently. This alignment between her inner self and her outward expression makes her magnetic and powerful. She does not need to perform or pretend. Her authenticity speaks volumes. Men feel her presence because it carries a sense of certainty and stability that is rare. They sense that she is grounded, self-sufficient, and untouchable by superficial games. A high-value woman's presence also teaches boundaries without words. She does not allow disrespect, manipulation, or dishonesty in her space. She does not tolerate behavior that compromises her peace or dignity. Even in silence, her energy communicates that certain behaviors are unacceptable. She does not engage in arguments or unnecessary explanations. Her consistency, poise, and self-possession make it evident that she commands respect naturally. By embodying this level of presence, she encourages others to elevate their own energy, to communicate honestly, and to engage with her authentically or not at all. Her presence is further amplified by her emotional independence. She does not rely on anyone else for validation, approval, or attention. She is aware that respect and recognition are earned through alignment and integrity, not through manipulation or dependence. This independence strengthens her energy, making her presence felt even more strongly. She approaches interactions with calm assurance, rather than neediness or insecurity. Her emotional strength ensures that her presence is a source of inspiration and authority, rather than a reflection of fear or uncertainty. A high-value woman also knows that her energy influences how others behave. She understands that those who are attuned to her presence will respond with authenticity and respect, while those who are misaligned will naturally distance themselves. She does not chase validation, nor does she lower her standards to accommodate others. Her presence sets the tone for interactions, signaling what is acceptable and what is not. She communicates her worth not through words alone, but through the energy she radiates, the boundaries she maintains, and the consistency with which she lives her truth. Ultimately, her presence commands respect because it is grounded in self-awareness, clarity, and authenticity. She does not need to assert her value. It is evident in everything she does. She understands that the right people will recognize and honor her energy, while those who are unaligned will naturally fall away. Her presence becomes a standard, a reflection of strength, dignity, and self-mastery. It is not loud, dramatic, or demanding, yet it is undeniable. Through the way she carries herself, the calm confidence she radiates, and the consistency of her energy, a high-value woman ensures that respect is given, not demanded, and in doing so, she naturally attracts alignment and integrity into her life. A high-value woman inspires alignment with honesty, authenticity, and inner strength because she understands that the quality of her relationships is a direct reflection of the energy she brings into them. She does not compromise her values or standards to fit the expectations of others. She does not bend or manipulate to create temporary approval. Instead, she communicates her truth with calm assurance and consistent integrity. And through this, she naturally draws people who are genuine and aligned with her energy. She has learned that authenticity cannot be faked, and that honesty is the cornerstone of respect, trust, and meaningful connection. Those who resonate with her truth are drawn to her, while those who do not naturally drift away, and she does not resist this natural alignment. When she speaks to a man, her energy reflects both clarity and strength. She does not need to convince, charm, or manipulate to gain acceptance or affection. Her presence, words, and actions communicate her values and expectations with precision. She demonstrates that she will not compromise her standards for the sake of temporary attention or superficial connection. She does not tolerate dishonesty, manipulation, or inconsistency because she knows her worth is not negotiable. The way she engages encourages sincerity in others, inspiring them to show up fully or to step aside. Her honesty is not harsh or aggressive. It is firm, compassionate, and unwavering. It is a reflection of the integrity she cultivates within herself. A high-value woman's authenticity inspires trust and admiration because it is rooted in self-awareness and self-respect. She knows who she is, what she wants, and what she will accept in her life. She communicates openly, not to dominate or control, but to create clarity and alignment. She does not explain herself or justify her choices because she understands that true alignment comes from mutual respect and shared values. Her words and actions are consistent, reflecting the integrity she embodies. And those who interact with her feel the weight of this authenticity immediately. By living in alignment with her truth, she demonstrates a standard of interaction that naturally encourages honesty in others. Inner strength is a critical part of the high-value woman's influence. She has cultivated resilience, emotional independence, and clarity of mind through experience and self-reflection. She does not allow fear, insecurity, or past disappointments to dictate her present or future. Her confidence is not built on the validation of others, but on the quiet knowledge of her own capabilities and worth. When she communicates, her strength is evident not in loudness or aggression, but in the calm assurance, poise, and steadiness she maintains. She does not rely on external affirmation because she has mastered the art of internal validation, and this independence is both magnetic and inspiring to those around her. By inspiring alignment with honesty and authenticity, she also sets a standard for meaningful connection. She teaches through example, showing that relationships built on falsehood, manipulation, or insecurity cannot thrive. She does not waste energy on superficiality or pretense, and her interactions naturally filter out those who are not aligned with her values. This selective engagement ensures that her life is surrounded by people who uplift, respect, and honor her presence. Her influence is subtle yet profound. She does not force change. She simply embodies the principles she values. And others are inspired to meet that energy if they are capable. A high-value woman's energy also communicates clarity about expectations without creating pressure or resentment. She is firm in her standards, yet compassionate in her delivery. She encourages honesty not through coercion, but through the example she sets. Those who interact with her feel the safety of clear boundaries, the warmth of authenticity, and the inspiration of strength that comes from self-mastery. She does not compete, manipulate, or control outcomes. She simply embodies a level of self-respect and integrity that invites alignment naturally. Her energy serves as a mirror, reflecting truth to those around her and inspiring them to rise to the level of honesty and authenticity she exemplifies. Ultimately, a high-value woman inspires alignment because she is unwavering in her commitment to truth, self-respect, and integrity. She does not compromise, chase, or perform for approval. Her presence, words, and actions radiate clarity and authenticity, naturally attracting those who are worthy and aligned. She teaches that meaningful connection comes from mutual respect, honesty, and inner strength. And through this, she creates relationships and interactions that are powerful, fulfilling, and genuine. By embodying honesty, authenticity, and inner strength, she ensures that everyone who enters her life is met with clarity, respect, and alignment, creating a space where only truth and integrity can thrive. As we reflect on the ways high-value women communicate, it becomes clear that their power does not come from loudness or force, but from clarity, self-respect, purpose, and authenticity. They speak with intention, embrace silence as strength, set unwavering boundaries, and carry a presence that commands respect. They value themselves above fleeting opinions, reject superficial games, and inspire alignment with honesty and integrity. Every word they choose, every pause they take, and every action they embody reflects a life lived with dignity, strength, and unwavering self-worth. The lessons here are not just about communication. They are about cultivating a mindset, a presence, and a life that honors who you truly are. By adopting these principles, you too can engage in relationships and conversations from a place of confidence, clarity, and authenticity. You can command respect without demanding it, inspire alignment without forcing it, and live with the kind of quiet power that transforms ordinary interactions into meaningful, impactful connections. Carry this knowledge with you. Let it shape the way you speak, the way you move, and the way you honor yourself. Remember that your words are powerful, your presence is magnetic, and your self-worth is non-negotiable. Let every conversation be a reflection of your clarity, every interaction a testament to your values, and every choice an expression of your inner strength. I wish you the courage to embrace these truths fully, the clarity to communicate your worth fearlessly, and the confidence to live as the high-value individual you are meant to be. May every word you speak carry power, every action radiate strength, and every relationship reflect the respect and authenticity you deserve. Good luck, stay true to yourself, and thank you for taking the time to honor the power and potential within you.